It's been about a month since Hurricane Ian impacted the Southwest Florida area. What has happened to the Naples real estate market since Hurricane Ian? Have home prices crashed? Has the market come to a grinding halt? Well, that's what we're going to talk about on this video. Stay tuned. What's up, everybody? I'm Rob Wosner, a local realtor here in Southwest Florida. If this is your first time on my channel and you want to know everything about eating, sleeping, working, playing, and the real estate market, this is the channel you need to subscribe to. So make sure you hit the subscribe button and tap the bell so you're notified every time I drop a new video. And I have people from across the country and around the world reaching out to me every single day, and I absolutely love it. So if you're even thinking about making a move here to Southwest Florida, you need to take the first step. Give me a call, shoot me a text, send me an email, however you want to get in touch with me. I have the systems and processes dialed down to make this transaction as smooth and easy as possible. I have your back when buying or selling property in Southwest Florida. All right, so before we get into what the impact of the hurricane is, let's just take a look at what was going on prior to the hurricane. September's data showed a predictable pattern of slow closed and pending sales with a slight increase in inventory, which is traditionally the case in historically stable Septembers. While the report captured activity prior to the hurricane's arrival, brokers who reviewed the report on October 18th are confident that Naples' recovery will be swift and the resiliency of home values will be protected. All right, so in September, we saw 694 new listings right here in Naples, Florida, and that's down 29.5% from September of 2021. The Naples market also saw 523 sales in September, and that's down 43.8% from last September. The median close price was up 21.8% to $555,000 from $455,500 just a year ago. Now, we've all been hearing a lot of talk about a buyer's market coming and the high interest rates, but we saw the percent of list price of homes sold was around 96.6% of the list price. So that's just down a little bit, but not the crazy drop-offs that we've seen throughout the country. We've also seen inventory tick up a little bit to 2,146 properties for sale, which is up 54.7% from this time last year. So we're doing pretty good right now in Naples. All right, so let's switch gears and let's talk about what has happened since Hurricane Ian has hit our market. First, let's talk about the median sales price here in Collier County. The median sales price is actually up 21% year over year. Now, when we're talking historic home values, they usually go up only 3 to 6% a year, not 21%, which is just absolutely insane. If we compare that to a year ago, we were up 20%. If we look back to 2019, we had a 1% increase, which is below normal values of actual home price value gains. Now, the median sale price right now in Naples was $579,000. It's interesting because we actually saw prices decrease at the end of April when the median sale price was up $665,000, and we saw it drop down to $540,000 at the end of July. And then prices started beginning to tick up again at the beginning of October. Then we saw prices fall off once Hurricane Ian hit our market. Now let's take a look at the average sale to list price ratio. Right now the ratio is at about 96%. So what we're seeing are houses selling at about 4% less than the current asking prices. But as you can see, that's drastically different than where we were back in the spring months when houses were selling over 100% of list price ratios, and there was bidding wars and all kinds of things increasing homes value. So it has changed since back in the spring. Now let's take a look at new listings right here in the Naples market, and you can see we are down 49.4% since the end of September with only 119 new listings. Then it started to tick back up again, and the first 3 weeks of October we saw 138 new listings hit the market, but that's still down 47.9% year over year. Now, these numbers are going to be interesting to look at in another month or so, so we really need to see the impact that the market's going to take from the hurricane. Well, we have also seen the number of new listings decrease more or less since March and April during this year, so listings have been down big time in the Naples area. All right, so let's see, are people actually buying homes since the hurricane? So we're going to take a look at pending sales, or whether or not the seller has accepted an offer from a buyer. Taking a look at that, and wow, like pending sales are down 92.4% year over year. Now, this is a gigantic decrease in the number of contracts being signed in Naples, Florida, which is a pretty remarkable and drastic downturn right now. All right, so let's take a look at active listings. So active listings are up about 37% from 2021 right now. What's interesting to note regarding this is that a 37% increase compared to a year ago is just absolutely insane. This is a huge increase, but we've seen similar increases over the past several months now because the number of active listings has been plateauing ever since the 4 weeks ending June 19th of this year. So when we look at the Naples market as a whole, right now we have approximately 2,357 houses for sale. And when we compare that to a year ago, we had only approximately 1,700 houses for sale. When we compare that way back to 2019, however, we had over 5,000 houses for sale. So even though the number of active listings has actually been increasing, we are still not even close to being at levels pre-COVID. Now, another number that I think is going to be interesting to look at is how many price reductions we've recently had here in Naples. All right, so price reductions right now are at 37.9%. When we compare that to March of this year, price reductions were around 20%. Last year at this time, we were approximately at 25.88%. And in 2020, we were pretty much at 23%. But if we go back to 2019, pre-COVID, we were looking at 32%. So kind of where we are today is equal to where we were in 2019 when we had a stable, normal market here in Southwest Florida. All right, so another thing we need to look at are home prices here in Naples. So now, if we look at median home price sold, which again, just consider that's a lagging indicator, and right now new home prices are up 21%. I mean, wow, 21% home values are up. And the median sale price is at $579,000. If we compare that to the same time last year, the median sale price was only $478,000. So look at that. 1 year ago, home prices were up 20%. So now if we go back to 2019, because the median price back then was only $346,000, and now we're at $579,000 here in Naples, Florida. Now, when we look at the peak from this year, we were up 37% on a year-over-year basis. Now, that's absolutely insane. And that was for the 4 weeks ending May 22nd. And this year, when the median sale price was $656,000. So the price gains that we're seeing right now on a year-over-year basis for the entire year so far of 2020 have been more or less above 30%, with year-over-year gains over 40%, which is just insane numbers. Like I said, the average is 3 to 5% year-over-year, and we're close to 30 to 40%. Now, every single week this year, we've seen gains at least over 10%. So double-digit gains compared to 1 year ago every single week of 2022. All right, so there is indeed significant loss. Yet the scope of the hurricane's impact was limited to specific areas along the coast and tributaries here in Collier County. Such an event will always bring with it a rebuilding boom, and most people will make the decision to restore and improve rather than exit the area. It's remarkable to see how much progress has already been made, and each and every single day there's more and more. Unlike Hurricane Irma, Hurricane Ian was not a severe wind event, so roughly 80% of the county was unaffected. For buyers looking to purchase non-waterfront homes, the market is really unchanged. Not surprising, there has been an increase in buyer interest for homes in communities east of US 41 since the storm. Some homes have been withdrawn from the MLS and some have been terminated altogether, but there's been a steady flow of new listings in the last 2 weeks. Obviously, some properties in Naples that experienced damage from the hurricane will come off the market because they'll need to be assessed by insurance adjusters and undergo repairs. But unlike harder hit areas like Lee and Charlotte counties, very few properties in Collier County were totally destroyed. A considerable number of businesses and properties that experienced the storm surge were swift to recover. Major attractions like the zoo, popular restaurants down on 5th Ave and 3rd Street, and golf courses have already reopened. If you visit our popular shopping districts today, you'll be hard-pressed to recognize that a major hurricane event hit less than a month ago. Indeed, our county's hurricane building code standards and quality craftsmanship by our local builders helped to greatly reduce the amount of major structural damage in the area. Additionally, drainage improvements to the city and the county's stormwater and infrastructure and new flood prevention management ordinances attributed to Naples' quick recovery efforts post-hurricane. One of the things that I am looking at to see is if FEMA changes the base flood elevation on some new builds. Though many spec homes built west of 41 are already 10 feet above sea level and the vast majority appear to avoid serious flooding, one thing that's going to be interesting to see is that if FEMA changes the base flood elevation on new construction builds. Though many spec homes built west of 41 are already above 10 feet above sea level, the vast majority appeared to avoid serious flooding during Hurricane Ian. Another thing that we are concerned about is the national media's portrayal of the storm's destruction and influencing the public's perception of the housing market right here in Collier County. A lot of people who visit Naples are assessing their winter plans. They are trying to figure out whether they should come down, and it doesn't help that our area is part of the media's narrative when it's reporting on the hurricane's destructive effects. It's simply not the case. Naples is well positioned to bounce back, and it will bounce back quickly. So what I expect is pricing may be erratic for the next couple months, but the demand for living along a coastline with the warm weather and business-friendly economy seems to have led to quick economic recoveries after past hurricane strikes. Less than a month after Hurricane Ian caused widespread devastation through Southwest Florida, investors and other buyers are scouring our housing market looking for deals in a region where home prices have been soaring in recent years. Demand remains strong from both locals and out-of-staters. I personally have received numerous inquiries from people still interested in relocating right here to Southwest Florida. I'm also hearing from investors that are hoping to pick up some distressed properties. Thank you so much for watching my real estate market update post Hurricane Ian. And if you are looking for a house here in Southwest Florida, make sure you take the first step. Give me a call, shoot me a text, send me an email, however you want to get in touch with me. I have the systems and processes dialed down to make the transaction as smooth and easy as possible. And I look forward to seeing you on my next video.